Hello friends, this is Normal here for Technique, and in this video we're going to compare two mid-range phones, the new Vivo V5 with the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser. So these two phones are almost priced similarly, with the Vivo V5 priced almost close to 18k, while the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser is priced 19k. So there are lots of similarities between these two devices, and they differ in various other aspects as well. So without any further delay, let's get started with a comparison of these two phones. So first up, let's see the design and build quality. So design wise, both the devices are made of metallic chassis. You can see both have curved rear panel and quite similar looking in terms of the finishing, but except for the camera unit, you can see ASUS has a different kind of camera position, a larger camera unit, and along with that it has a laser autofocus, dual tone, dual LED flash, and also fingerprint scanner which is placed on the rear panel. On the other hand, the Vivo V5 has a smaller camera unit. It's a 13 megapixel sensor, and we have a LED flash included, and there is also Vivo branding below it. Now design and build quality looks quite good on both the phones. The Vivo V5 is slightly more heavier than the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser, but the design, we would say the Vivo V5 has the better looking device out there, although the Zenfone 3 Laser is quite good looking as well. Now coming to the front panel, we have a 5.5-inch display on both these devices, and we have a massive 20 megapixel front facing camera on the Vivo V5, while it's an 8 megapixel shooter on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser. Now both these phones have a capacity of touch buttons. Additionally, we have a fingerprint scanner included on the front panel on the Vivo V5. Now apart from that, you can see that the design looks quite similar. We have the power and volume keys on the right side, the SIM tray on the left side, the bottom houses the USB charging slot and the speaker unit. Vivo has the 3.5mm audio jack at the bottom, while it's on the top on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser. So that's the design and build quality. We would say in terms of the design and build, both these devices are quite decent looking, but our choice would be the Vivo V5, which looks slightly more premium and good looking than the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser. Now let's move on to the display. Here we have a different resolution display. It's an HD display, that's a 720p display on the Vivo V5, while it's a full HD display on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser. So if you look at the display, you could clearly see that the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser has the edge because it's higher pixels per inch, and the pixel density is also higher. So that makes the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser display look good. But having said that, even with the 720p display, the Vivo V5 produces good resolution, and the viewing angles are also really good. The overall clarity also looks quite good on the Vivo V5. But again, because it's a full HD display, we would give it to the ASUS Zenfone 3 in terms of the display performance. Now both the phones have Corning Gorilla Glass protection on top of it. Vivo V5 also ships with a screen protector included in the box. So that was the display aspect. Now let's move on to the software. So here both these devices run on Android 6.0 Marshmallow but have custom UIs. First let's talk about the UI on the Vivo V5. So it's a fun touch OS, and this is quite similar to what we have seen on most of the Chinese OEMs. We have multiple home screens devoid of an app drawer. If you go to the settings, we have a completely customized settings panel. Additional options are also included, and we have the smart motion multi-screen option is there. You can run multiple apps on the same screen. Then super screenshot, smart click, one-handed UI. So additional features, a lot of them are included. And we also have support for iManager, where you can do a bit of customization and also optimize the device for your usage. Then you have support for themes. You can download additional themes. So it's fairly feature-rich UI, but it's not as polished as what we have seen on the Xiaomi's Mi UI. But it definitely gives a good feel altogether. But if you're a person who loves stock Android experience, then this is not the device to choose, because it is a quite different UI, but it does offer additional features. You can see the customized notification panel, and the quick toggles are from the swipe from the bottom. That's quite a similar implementation like the Gioni and the Cool Pad. So that's the UI on the Vivo V5. Now talking about the UI on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser, we have the Zen UI 3.0, and this is quite similar to the previous Zen UI, but it comes with a lot of modifications and a lot of optimization rather. And you can see the notifications and quick toggles are quite similar to what we have seen on previous Zen phones as well. It also comes with a lot of additional customization options. You can see Zen UI is there. You can customize icons, edit the home screen, a lot of preferences and options are there. So it's a good feature rich UI, and does come with almost all features you would want on the UI. If you go to the settings, again you can see that there are some added features included, which you can see that Zen Motion is there, ASUS customized settings, kids modes, Then easy mode is there, support for themes. So again a feature rich UI. Now talking about the performance of these two phones. So one is powered by a MediaTek chipset, that's a 6750 on the Vivo V5, which is coupled with 4GB RAM and 32GB storage. Now on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser we have the Snapdragon 430 octa-core chipset, which is again coupled with a 4GB RAM and 32GB storage. Now both these processors are not really powerful chipsets in the price category. The Snapdragon 430 is a budget chipset, while on the other hand the Vivo's MediaTek chipset is also not really powerful. It's not a chipset which is intended for this price category. So both these devices are not really powerful in terms of the performance, but does a quite good job overall in day-to-day tasks, and there's no lag or issues on either of them in day-to-day experience. Now talking about the gaming experience, both these devices are quite good in terms of the gaming experience. When we did, both the phones did perform quite well. Not really the best performance in this category, but definitely not a bad chipset in this segment. So that's the overall performance aspect of these two phones. So overall we would say in terms of the software and experience, it's a personal choice, and whether you like the Zen UI or the Vivo's Fun Touch UI, because the Fun Touch does not offer an app drawer, while the Zenfone Zen UI offers an app drawer. So it's again a personal choice whether you want which Zen UI or the Vivo's Fun Touch. But having said that, neither of them have similarities to the stock Android. So that's the software and performance. Now both the phones support VoLTE in India. You can see 4G LTE and VoLTE is supported, and they come with 32GB storage, dual SIM cards and micro SD card expansion slot. Now looking at the benchmark scores of these two phones, as we said before, it's not really a powerful chipset. Both have the scores in the 40,000 range. The Zenfone 3 Laser has slightly highest benchmark score than the Vivo V5. So in terms of the performance, both are quite decent, not really the powerful chipsets in this price segment. Now let's move on to the camera. So this is one area where Vivo V5 is strong in terms of the specification. It has a 20 megapixel front camera and also moonlight selfie flash, and it has a rear 13 megapixel camera with LED flash. On the other hand, the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser has 13 megapixel rear camera, dual tone dual LED flash, and it also comes with a laser autofocus, and on the front panel we have an 8 megapixel shooter. Now camera interface looks good on both the phones. We have a decent amount of features and options included on both these cameras, and they offer manual modes as well. So there's no clear win in terms of the camera interface. Now let's talk about the camera performance. We have taken different samples from these two phones in various light conditions, and here you can see that both are quite good in terms of the overall performance. Both are decent performance, but you could see that the colors are slightly more natural on the Vivo V5, while it's slightly saturated on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser. If you're looking for natural colors, definitely Vivo V5 is the better choice, but if you want a bit of punchy and vivid colors, then the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser provides that. Now looking at the front facing camera, again you could see that Vivo V5 has an edge here. The front facing shooter on the Vivo V5 is definitely better. That's a 20 megapixel shooter. That's better than the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser, which has an 8 megapixel shooter. So overall in terms of the camera experience, we would give it to the Vivo V5 because it produces decent shots and also more natural colors than the saturated colors on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser. Again, we would say it's a subjective matter. Some of our viewers might like the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser because it's much more crispier and vivid colors, but they're not really natural. So again, we would leave it to our readers to choose which is a better device in terms of the camera performance. So next up, we'll talk about the fingerprint scanner. We have a fingerprint scanner on the front panel on the Vivo V5, while it's on the rear panel on the Laser ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser. Both are quite good in unlocking the device, but we would say the Vivo's fingerprint scanner is slightly faster than the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser and unlocks the device faster than the Zenfone 3 Laser. Now finally talking about the battery performance. So both these phones have a 3000 mAh battery, and the battery performance looks quite good. You can easily run through a day of usage on both these devices, and with moderate usage you can slightly get above a day, but definitely one day is possible on both these devices. So battery won't be a major issue on both the phones. Now we have talked about almost all aspects about these two phones. So the Vivo V5 is priced almost 18,000 while the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser is priced 19,000. Now if we are going by the specs alone, then we would say the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser has a priority because it has a slightly superior chipset, and also it has a full HD display when compared to an HD display. But having said that, if you're looking for looking to choose one of these devices, the Vivo V5 is definitely one good choice because it does produce some good camera shots and decent gaming experience as well. But again, as you said before, the software is not really polished, and also it has an HD display when compared to the full HD display. So we don't really see a clear winner in terms, because neither of them are really powerful chipsets. We don't really recommend either of them in this segment. But if you're looking to buy one of them in this category, then the Vivo V5 would be our choice, even with an HD display, because it produces a good overall experience. It's in terms of the design and build, the looks are also good. Camera is also quite good. If you're looking for selfie experience, again Vivo V5 has edge, and overall it's a good looking device, and it also comes for 1,000 rupees lesser than the ASUS Zenfone 3 Laser. So that's the detailed comparison of these two phones. So we would definitely leave it to our readers to decide which is a better device out there, and buy them if you're looking to buy one of these two devices. So that's all guys, thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.